Food delivery technology has definitely been one of the biggest trends of the past 18 months, and joining me here is Seth Goldman, who is a CEO in this space, CEO of HelloFresh US.
That's right.
Thank you for joining us here at Disrupt.
Thanks so much for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
So explain to me what HelloFresh is.
Sure, so we are basically, our motto is cooking made easy. So what we're trying to do is take away all the reasons why you might not be cooking at home. Whether you hate going to the grocery store at 6 p.m. because that's when it's log jammed, or you get there and you don't know what ingredients to buy, or you're like me, I go and pick up 6 ingredients, my wife says, where's the lemon? I'm right back out to the store again. Or you really want that red pepper, but you're like, I'm not going to stretch for it, so you get the green one, and it's not as sweet. We're really sending these farm fresh ingredients every week to your door, planning out your menus. They change every week. You get to pick and choose between a few options. We're saying, here are all the ingredients, pre-measured to your door, so you can cook dinner between 30 and 40 minutes.
And this is a company that started in Berlin, and so you are the CEO of its US operations.
That's right. So we started in Berlin, then we expanded to the Netherlands, the UK, Australia, the US, and we've recently added Austria and Belgium. So it's really a lot of fun. We've been growing like crazy.
When you think about food and diets and eating habits, so much of that is very locally oriented. I'd imagine that there's a big difference between your customers in Berlin versus in California. How does HelloFresh manage all of these different areas?
Sure. So first of all, health around food is super important to us. We have a registered dietitian on staff full time. She thinks through the nutrition for all of the recipes that we go through, and we might pull something off the menu purely from a nutritional standpoint. When it comes to taste preferences between the different countries, super different. The Netherlands did like a mackerel with potatoes, and that was clearly not going to work for us. So we really tailor the dishes to the US, but it can be challenging here too. We'll have dishes. I remember the first week of November, we did our first chili recipe, and I got a comment from someone in Massachusetts that said, first hint of fall, thank you for giving us our first winter recipe. And then someone in Texas might tell us, it's 90 degrees, so we have to balance that out a little bit.
And you guys have been growing a lot. I mean, you've talked about your international expansion, but there's also been a big capital infusion recently. Can you talk about the funding?
Yeah, so we raised more than $100 million recently, led by our investors really doubling down. And we're really thrilled. It's going to allow us to expand our current facilities. So we were able to open up a new facility in Dallas, and we're going to grow our existing facilities in the San Francisco area and in the New York area.
Now, obviously, there are others in this space. I'm thinking of Blue Apron, Plated.
Sure.
How do you think about this competitive landscape? What differentiates you from the others?
Sure, so we're certainly aware of other competitors in our space, but we really focus far more internally. How do we deliver the best customer experience to our customers? What are they looking for? And the ways we really try to differentiate, I said, on health and nutrition, super important to us. Making sure, but in addition to that, we have very generous portion sizes so our customers feel well rewarded for their purchase. And we really, really focus on that 30 to 40 minute meal. We don't want you to get home on a Tuesday night exhausted and struggle for an hour and a half, and then wind up with something that you're not satisfied with. So our chefs are focusing every week down to cleanup. We even have a little icon that we'll put on some recipes. We call them one pot wonders, where it's one pot to just throw and soak overnight. Next morning, rinse and clean, and you're good to go.
Okay, so it sounds like it's all these little features that kind of make the difference, and the main product itself, what you're delivering, is pretty similar.
Yeah, I think there are other differences we can think through, but convenience is so important to us, and that Monday through Thursday, that Sunday through Thursday experience is really important to us.
And how do these numbers work? I know that you're in growth mode, so maybe I'm sure the company itself isn't really profitable, but on a per box basis, is this a profitable operation?
We don't really get into the numbers on that, so I can't really comment on that.
Okay. I'm trying to think of how this works as a business and scales out.
Sure, so we're looking and we're negotiating with all parts of our business to really focus on our margin, but right now it's really secondary to that experience.
Okay, and geographically, where are you now in the United States, and where are you going to in the months ahead?
Sure, so right now we deliver to everyone in the sort of lower 48 states. But we're constantly working on new delivery methods. We recently added a Monday delivery option to Northern California. We're working on adding additional days to folks in the Midwest and folks in the South. So we're really excited about that, working with our logistic partners for that.
And how do you get the word out about this? Because when you think about behavior, I think there are a lot of early adopters in urban areas that are excited to try new things. But in other areas, people are so used to the behavior of going to the grocery store and buying things and cooking, or going and getting takeout or restaurant stuff. This is this in-between option that nobody is really aware of. How are you getting the word out, and how are people responding?
Yeah, it is a challenge. I think awareness for the category is really low still. And you're right, it's sort of in between. It's not quite going to the grocery store, it's not quite ordering in, it's sort of ordering in for you yourself to cook. So we have a lot of different marketing channels that we use, whether it's, we talk through magazines, we have social channels. Referrals is definitely our best channel. So you try it, you love it, you tell your friends about it. That's our most important and best channel.
Word of mouth, it's free and it's so valuable. So that's good to hear. Thank you, Seth, so much for coming by TechCrunch Disrupt.
Thank you, Colleen, so much for having me.
And we will have more coverage. Just stay tuned.